Hey man, say man, this is part 2 of L.M.Vent. This is a part of my story and pain I had to endure as a shorty up until my 20s. And now I fully grieve and release this pain. For sure.
Let me go on ahead, get this here off my chest. I'm 36 years in with 28 years scars. I've been healing year after year. It's been a process I couldn't deal without God. Moved to Memphis from Chicago when I was 8 years old. I didn't fully understand. All I knew, my neighborhood was bad and my mom was mad that I barely saw my dad. Growing up, daddyless, had to see my daddy. There's times I did, I do thank God. The memory deep in my head, but it still ended up without a daddy. It was hard. I had to learn how to ride back by myself. I had to learn how to be tough like the rest. I had to learn how to defend myself. It's bullies in the hood, ain't no calling for help. The thing that a son would look up to his dad for, I didn't see. I was sad in my chest. Laying up late night as a preteen, had to swallow my feeling that was hard to digest. Living in Memphis and Binghamton at the time, Vice Lord was all that I saw. I was embraced to the fullest to be gang, throwing up that 5-point star. I needed masculinity, but I didn't run to the street cause I was told that the streets was fraud. Shout out to my big bro, he wrote me from the feds, told me not to get involved. Just because dad ain't there, don't make the same mistake trying to get his attention overall. This pain been wrapped with forgiveness, so I forgave my dad, had to go and shake it off.
Let me vent, part 2, let me vent to you, let me vent, part 2, let me vent to you, let me vent, part 2, let me vent to you.
Taking out my box of pain, it's time to open up and release some man.
Let me vent, part 2, let me vent to you, let me vent, part 2, let me vent to you, let me vent, part 2, let me vent to you.
Taking out my box of pain, it's time to open up and release some man.
I moved up to the OHIO cause my mom was getting ill by the week. At the time I would call my mom on the phone, she would answer and then recognize it was me. Even though we talked on the phone, it had been a few years since we seen each other. During that time she was losing her mind, I should have been left Memphis and seen my mother. That's when I knew it was getting so bad, so I had to pull up like I'm here, look it's me. The next thing came out of mouth towards me that I heard made me fall down to my knees. She looked at me with a blank stare, as if she didn't know I was there. Then turned to my sister, then turned back to me, then asked me if I was her boyfriend. All I could do was drop tears in disbelief of what I just heard, and drop my head in pain with prayer and send the Most High some begging words. Dementia was taking over. I could see another face, she wanted it to be over. So did I. I asked God why, is it because my mom was a smoker? I lost my mama in 2017. I didn't see it coming like a deer in headlights. I took flight, my mind wasn't right. I was sitting all alone, so high as a kite. That pain cut deep like I saw concrete. I still see my mom in my dream when I sleep. R.I.P. I'm a rest my peace. This was buried in my chest, which I had to release.
Let me vent, part 2, let me vent to you, let me vent, part 2, let me vent to you, let me vent, part 2, let me vent to you.
Taking out my box of pain, it's time to open up and release some man.
Let me vent, part 2, let me vent to you, let me vent, part 2, let me vent to you, let me vent, part 2, let me vent to you.
Taking out my box of pain, it's time to open up and release some man.
Hey man, say man, this is such a blessing to be fully healed now. To move on from the trauma I had to encounter, experience, and endure. This therapy session was much needed. Please do me a favor though. Any pain, trauma you done experience, get it off your chest. But with the guidance of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, you dig? Ahab, Ahmawan signing off. Shalom. Shalom.
For the body ministry, baby.